You spent years chasing success, and now you're sitting in a life that doesn't even feel like yours anymore. You don't want to go back, but you're too exhausted to move forward. So tell me, do you even know what you want anymore? Because you see, you're successful, no doubt about that. But secretly, you're suffocating. Secretly, you're suffering. Everyone thinks that you've made it, but you're emotionally disconnected. You are physically drained. You are mentally overwhelmed. And now you can't even hear yourself think long enough to know what to do next. So let me ask you something. When was the last time you actually did something for just you? When was that? And without feeling guilty about it. If you're not in your head, but you're still drawing a blank, sis, that is by no coincidence. That is not confusion. That is disconnection. Okay. And I want to be really clear to distinguish the difference between the two. So in this video, I'm going to help you to start reconnecting with her again. Okay. The version of you who knows exactly what she wants. She claims it, she goes after it, and she doesn't stop until she gets it. Okay. Because I can remember the very moment that I was where you are right now. And I can go back to that moment. It's so visceral for me. And what I can tell you is that I felt like I had the important sounding titles. I was making the six-figure salary. I had the accolades. I had the license. I had the credentials, all the credentials behind my name. I had it all. I had a calendar full of meetings, but I had no clue of what I actually really wanted, like deep down inside what I wanted. I was making decisions from obligations, not from desire. And you know what else? I was so good at pretending that everything was fine, that it's all good, to the point that I actually started to believe it. That became my truth until my body told the truth. It started yelling and screaming at me what the truth really was. And I wasn't listening. Okay. And that's when I realized clarity doesn't come from pushing harder, it comes from getting honest with yourself. And once I got honest, my vision was crystal clear. And I saw exactly what I needed to do next. I saw exactly where to start. And here is exactly what I did next. And when everything changed for me, I had to reconnect with the what I actually wanted, and I did not hold back from my truth. Here is how you can reconnect to yourself when you're feeling disconnected. And if you're watching this video, that means you're feeling disconnected right now. So the first thing you've got to do is admit the disconnect and listen to the longing. Okay. What are you actually craving? And what won't you say out loud? What haven't you yet admitted out loud that you want? Because your desires, okay, are the breadcrumbs back to your truth. This is where most women, this is where most women silence themselves. But I don't want you to skip this. Do not skip this, okay? The next thing I want you to do is release the rules. Release the rules. Here's the thing. Ask yourself, whose version of success are you chasing? That is one of the most important questions you can ask yourself. It matters that you ask yourself this question because you cannot define your next chapter while holding on to someone else's blueprint. And you know something else? There are 78% of women who say they feel pressure to succeed in a way that doesn't even feel aligned because they're chasing someone else's success for them. So they're misaligned. And If this video, by the way, is hitting home, a little too close to home, maybe, that's by no coincidence or accident, okay? That's very intentional because this is your sign. You don't need another to-do list, okay? You need to have a full reinvention. And that's exactly what we do inside of my Becoming Her Again VIP day. My VIP reinvention day is your roadmap, is your blueprint back to her. Now, I want you to keep watching, but if you're ready to talk, then go ahead and look for the link in my description box and or in the pinned comment. Now, before we go any further, if you're getting what I'm giving and you love these gems I'm dropping, go ahead and leave a comment right now so we can get this discussion popping. I would love to know what's resonating with you and what's pulling on those heartstrings and what was the aha moment that you've had so far or that you're feeling in this video. And by the way, if you are getting value from this video and you're feeling my vibe and want to become a part of my tribe, go ahead and subscribe and hit the notification bell so you never miss a single episode whenever I drop new content and or go live, okay? Now, this next part is exactly what gave me the courage to walk away. And I want that for you too. So I want you to listen closely when I tell you this, okay? You've got to reclaim your voice, okay? Use what I call the I want journaling prompt for the next 7 days, every single day, all throughout the day, in the crevices of your day. What do I mean by that? I mean, every time it hits your gut, your chest, your heart, anytime it comes to your mind, anytime you have a thought, a deep longing or craving for, or the emotions come up for you about what it is you actually want, I want you to write it down. Write it down. Take a little pad with you everywhere. Put it in your phone, in your notes, whatever you got to do. Text it to yourself. Just make sure that without a second thought, you just write it down. Okay? Journaling is so critical in this phase, in this discovery phase. Okay, as we are revealing the truth of who you are and what it is you want, what you really want. That's what matters, because this is about wanting is a spiritual practice, okay? And clarity is the muscle that you've got to build. And so if you've stuck it out with me so far up until this point of the video, first of all, I want to thank you because that means you're serious. I want to offer you a bonus tip, okay? Those were 3 quick tips, but I want you to take it very seriously. And obviously, if you're still here, then you're taking it very seriously. These are the next things I want you to do. This is a kind of a 2-part bonus, okay? So the first thing is I want you to stop asking the wrong questions. You see, the real reason why you're stuck is not because you're unmotivated, all right? It's because you're asking surface level questions and disempowering questions, I might add. For example, what do I mean by surface level questions? You're asking questions like, what should I do next? Why is this happening to me? Okay. What do I need to do to make money? Right? Where are the people who I'm called to serve? What's the next smart decision to make? No. Instead, I want you to do this. These are the questions you should ask to go deeper. You should ask, who am I now? What do I value now? Okay, what season am I in right now? You understand? You need to reconnect with the inner knowing because you already know the answer to these questions. You just haven't sat down long enough silently in stillness and just quiet, no distractions, just with you and your thoughts and going deeper, peeling back those layers so you can go deeper inside of you to really reveal, discover, and uncover the inner knowing. Okay. So here are 3 grounding questions to journal and reflect on. 1, what feels heavy right now? And 2, what feels light and freeing? What feels liberating? Even if it scares me, what is that? Like if I had no fear, what would ease feel like? How could I embrace that? And if I wasn't afraid of failing, by the way, this is the 3rd question I want you to ask yourself. If I'm not afraid of failing, what would I want the most? Like if fear was just not, it wasn't a thing. It wasn't real. Okay. What would I want the most? What do I deeply desire? Those are the 3 questions I want you to ask yourself so you can go deeper and stop just hitting, asking those surface level questions is not getting you very far. Okay. And if you're still afraid to admit what that looks like, by the way, that is exactly why I created my VIP days. And you are the person I created my VIP days for, right? I designed my VIP days with you in mind. See, one of my clients, I work with many people from all walks of life, mostly those coming from corporate. Okay, those who have been in leadership positions, those who have already been successful, and those who have already most times started a business or on their way into starting a business, and they have all of these grandiose ideas and thoughts and dreams and aspirations and goals, and they don't quite know how to get there. They don't know what they want anymore. Okay, they're not even sure because they're just so burned out, and so they're operating from that level, okay, from their broken parts and pieces and from their burnout. And I don't want that for you. Okay. So I worked with a client recently, and one of my clients, I won't name her name, okay, for confidentiality purposes, but she was in our session. Okay. And in our session, she said that she was just unsure of if she even had dreams anymore because she was just so over it. And that's a sad place to be. But it's not the end when you think it's the end. It's actually oftentimes just the beginning. It was by the end of our VIP day that she walked away with a 30-day blueprint for her next chapter. And you know what she said by the end of our day? She says, "Oh my God, I don't just feel free. I feel alive again." Do you know what a huge win that was? What a success to feel alive again. That means she's alive, obviously a living human being breathing, but she felt like she was dying inside. And after this day, she felt alive again. That is a major win right off the bat. Okay. Before she even does any more work, she's already feeling alive and hopeful again. Do you know what I'm saying? So if you're done pretending that everything's just okay and you're finally ready, I mean, really, really ready to admit what you really want, what you really want. And I emphasize you. Why? Because I don't mean what your job wants for you, what your family and your friends want for you, what your colleagues and associates say should be good for you, or society expectations are. I want you to decide what you want for you. Now is the time. Now is your winning season. Now, your 2.0 version of yourself is the one that you have to create. Okay, you can't get that from somebody else. Okay, maybe you live the 1.0 version of yourself in your first part of your life, your past life. We're going to call that your past life. Maybe you live that for other people, but that's not what we're doing now at this big old age. Okay, so if you are a woman over 40 and you are ready to really figure out for yourself what you want in this part of your life, this age, at this age, stage, and phase of your life, you need to be in my VIP day. Here's the thing: you cannot build your future from confusion, and you cannot hear clarity through chaos. Okay. So I want you to book your Freedom and Focus Clarity call with me today, and let's explore what my VIP day, Becoming Her Again, can unlock for you. By the way, this is not business coaching. Okay. And even though I'm a holistic business coach, and I'm saying it that way because this is more than that. This is about a full identity reset for women who's been everything to everyone. And it's finally, you are finally ready to come back home to you, to yourself. Okay. And inside this transformational 1 day experience, we are going to break you free from the burnout, from the pressure, from trauma, from unrealistic, unnecessary expectations and all that you have buried, okay, from your brilliance or within your brilliance, okay? Expectations that was buried beyond your brilliance, okay? Like we want to bring that brilliance back out. That beautiful, brilliant brain of yours, we got to get it working again. Okay, we got to use that AED to defibrillate you, right? Give you the CPR. Like I'm coming to resuscitate your dreams, to give you and your dreams a second chance at life, to give your vision a second chance at life. We want you to be thriving, not just surviving. So I am coming to save you, but you've got to be willing, open, ready to receive. So that's the first thing we're going to do. And we're going to reignite your level of confidence, your clarity, your courage that you've lost along the way. Okay. We are going to craft a soul aligned reinvention plan for the woman you are becoming, because it's always about who you are becoming. Okay. Not the version of yourself you've been settling for. This, by the way, is for serious, high achieving women over 40 who know they've outgrown their current life and they're ready to rise to the occasion, set higher expectations for themselves and exceed their own expectations and blow their whole mind. Okay. If you're ready for your next chapter, if you're ready to reach unimaginable heights, this is for you. This is not for women. I repeat, this is not for women. One more again. This is not for women who is seeking free advice, who are tire kickers, who are needing starter strategies or hustle culture motivation. And this is for women who are ready to be fulfilled and have holistic success and build a freedom-based business and a freedom lifestyle. Okay. You want more because you're deserving of more. And in order to get it, you have to be deliberate, disciplined, and determined to achieve all that you dream of, desire, and deserve. You also have to be willing to do the work required to get the results desired. So if that is you, if you feel the nudge, trust it. Your next chapter starts with one brave conversation, and that is all. That's it. Okay, so look for the link in the description box as well as in the pinned comments. And that's my time. So I'm going to tune out while you tune in. Be sure to share this video out with at least 3 friends and watch the next video that YouTube recommends. As always, and until next time, I am wholeheartedly in this journey with you. Bye for now.